Well, Crags, Kilmarnock tomorrow. How's it been this week leading up to the game?
It's been fine. Today's the only really day we've been able to get the squad together. There's some of them training with the first team and being involved in the first team. It can be frustrating sometimes trying to get all the players together and shape up and do a little bit of work. So we had a decent session this morning. We're not too sure how Kilmarnock will be, as in how they'll shape up. So we've just tried to give the basic information as we do through a set plays and stuff. So it's been fine. The place has been good since last Monday. We won over at Hamilton, which was always nice. It was a tough game. What's pleased me over the past little while is we've managed to win games in different ways, against different sides and how we've played. So it's not always going to be about free-flowing football. We're not always going to have lots of the ball. So our shape's got to be good, organisation's got to be good, and I think that's pleased me over the last 2 or 3 games.
At under 20s level, you've said it in the past yourself that you don't really know sometimes with the opponents. How key is it that the boys can adapt in game to what the opponents bring?
Yeah, well, that's it. We've given some information on Kilmarnock. We have that they can potentially play 2 different shapes. So what you try and do is give them information on both, so that if they arrive at the game and they're not playing the shape we thought they were playing something different, then we can still adapt. So, but that's about football in general. Really, is adapting as the games go. It's a learning curve for the young players. Adapting how you play against your direct opponent, how you play against the opposition, as a team as well. So, but I think most importantly, if we can, impose yourself in the game, like we have done over the past few weeks, get our players at the top end of the pitch being a little bit better. Consistency is something I always speak about. The distance we've covered in the GPS over the past 2 games has been excellent. It's no coincidence we've probably had our 2 best performances of the season. We've been a little bit more clinical in the final third. Our crossing's been better. Our link-up play's been better. So when that all comes together, I think we're a decent side. So, but the consistency of getting that week in, week out, I think we're starting to see it with some players like Ross McLean, who's probably had his best 2 games of the season. He's doing things better. He's doing things sharper. He's making better decisions. So that's the only way they progress into the first team, is by doing that over a period of time. You can all do it over 1 or 2 games. The question I'm posing them, or the challenge I'm giving them, is to do it over 5 or 6. And then we can see where they are.
Overall, it's been a good start to the season. The table is now reflecting that. What are you feeling after the start that you've made?
Yeah, it's been good. We probably had a little bit of a slow start last year with me coming in, not really knowing the players. So the consistency in selection has been quite good as well. A lot of the players have got a lot of minutes. But it's about them. Big Dylan Mackin is doing as well as he's done for us as well. Dylan scored some goals. As I said, Ross has scored some goals. David Turnbull last week when he came on was excellent. So we're starting to see young players playing at the top of the game. Week in, week out, they're performing well. So, of course, the league table is always nice. I think once you got around about Christmas, after Christmas, you start to have a little look. But, getting off to a good start, winning some games, building some confidence, giving some self-belief. I'm sure the players look at it. They look at the table, and it gives them a little bit of a buzz. But that's all it is. We're just looking at it and seeing where we are. But, we have to maintain that. They have to maintain their performance and maintain their level of performance. If we can do that, we can push on. So, but we can't rest. We can't slip off like we did against Hibs 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's always the warning sign. We didn't play well enough on that day, and that's a little warning sign. I always try and remind them. Somewhere along the line, football gives you little reminders, and we have to make sure that we try and maintain our levels. We push on. We perform well. And if we do, I'm always confident, we can win games.
2 wins on the bounce now. Will it be more of the same in terms of team line-up and selection, or is there any team news you can give us, Chris?
Yeah, well, it's the manager might want to drop 1 or 2 down. He hasn't fully finalised that yet. Last week, for example, with Alan Campbell playing out of position at right back, that may have to continue tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see who he wants to go with. But Dean Brill will probably play in goal. I think Dean's going to play, which is good. Anytime he's come down, he's been excellent. But I just like the young ones to play. I think they work hard all week, as do the senior players who don't get a game in the first team. Everybody trains hard all week, and the only way for me to see the young ones progress is to see them in games. They have to go into the games and they have to do things well. They have to make mistakes. They have to understand how to manage games at times. So I'm pleased when they're all playing. Ultimately, I understand the first team is the most important team at the club, and the players have to be fit to play for them. So when the manager says they have to drop down and play, they have to drop down and play, which is fine. They're always good. They always work hard. They always help the young boys along. So tomorrow will probably be a mix. There'll be a couple dropping down, I would suspect. But it's the young ones I want to perform well. I want their levels to be as high as they've been. There's no reason why they can't continue covering the distance they're covering, putting the performances in that they've been putting in, because they've shown they can do it. There's no point in doing it 1 or 2 weeks. They have to do it all the time. And that's what I'm always harping on to them about.